exercise continues. Resumed yesterday because it had been stopped because of adverse weather conditions. And the CS for Interior Kindiki said there are more graves. And termed this whatever Mackenzie did as an well orchestrated and organized crime. Now, even as we grapple, in trying to find a solution, a remedy to all this mess, I want to take to just use what Rwanda did as an example. Rwanda closed down over 700 churches, and they said for you to have a church, for you to call yourself a pastor, you must have done a bachelor's degree in theology and have valid religious certificates. Over 700 churches were closed down. First of all, do you think that is the right way to go, and should we as a country try and implement that, try and go that route?
No, it's not the right way to go. You can talk about Rwanda. You see, sometimes when people talk about things, they blanket it in terms of this. There's what is, for instance, let's say the common man argues vis-a-vis about how they observe the church, and it means it pains them, it makes them to become irritated. Then there's irritation. Sometimes situations compel or push such kind of measures to be put in place. It doesn't necessarily mean every kind of thing has got its pros and cons. It has got its kinds of loopholes and such. It's not necessarily the right way to go, because question is, for instance, when somebody is saying that, let's say the concept about people talking about cults and such, then let's say, for instance, somebody like there's this guy called Yesu Tongareni. Yes, it's a very strange kind of concept. But you see, Yesu Tongareni was here before Mackenzie. Okay, in the limelight.
Yes.
Now, when Mackenzie comes in place, people begin to talk about Yesu Tongareni. And the question is, how do you really peg such kind of a guy? Because it's not, you see, you're talking from a place of superstitious fears. But technically where this person is, he has his own right, because you cannot say there's no provision for him to make those kinds of claims. When you look at technically the reality of spirituality. Now, another question is, let's say, the concept of church. This education part of it, in terms of bachelor's degree and such, it guides, or let's say the knowledge or the education of it. The interface of education in it helps somebody to have a balance. You see, for instance, any person that graduates, the terminology is used, you have been given powers to read. When you're graduating yourself, now we give you powers to read. It means you have the ability to at least understand the human society so that you can balance yourself. It is not the university that, have you ever seen professors that are fools? It is something that is called education by itself, but technically somebody can go through that and you can sit down with somebody that's a professor and you can say still a professor is a fool, but it's because that is the system that operates. So it means it still has its own kind of pros and cons. So the part of church and such and the dynamics that are involved, which university will train somebody like, for instance, the people that believes in casting out demons? The same part of the church, there's a part of the church that you can go to, maybe let's say their theological college, and they tell you this kind of thing, seeing casting out devils is not biblical. There's even doctrinally just every kind of church. So which exact university are we talking about? Because the same time, if you say now we have to deliberate and have university, means even the Mackenzie kind of people say we have our kind of university, isn't it? So it means you still have to regulate what kind of knowledge, because it's not about the universities and the degree they have. Somebody can have degree. I saw another time people wanted to have introduction of witchcraft into the university and such, isn't it? So it means, so technically it means if you're a witch, we need a witch with with at least a degree and such. So it's not the issue of the degree or such, is the issue of the outflow of this concept of the God, whatever. This other part of being learned, it helps at least in terms of having the corporate understanding of where the world is at now, to have development, that you have holistic kind of human development as a shepherd.
They say it is a calling. Being a man of God is a calling.